think Adam Sancerulo is going to be definitely
Yes.
pushing up there.
Yep.
He's been, and especially with Paolo being the first round, he's
Yep.
a local. He's him,
Yep.
he's always there. He's got a lot of practice
Always.
on that track. I think he's going to be really comfortable going into that first round, a lot of confidence.
Mhm.
I'm putting him in my top 5.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? It's Dave Drakes with the Collective Experience, and we are back for another Foul Plugs Moto show. And yes, my co-host got a lot cooler, a lot prettier. It is the one and only Tayler Kaplan, a good buddy of mine. What's up, Tayler?
Hello. What's going on? Thanks for having me.
No worries. I had to get you on following our just phenomenal watch party we had for Supercross. That was too much fun. So of course I got to get you back. We're gonna make you a regular. You guys will be seeing a lot more Tayler. If I have anything to say about it, we'll just kick Manny and Grant off, and we'll bring her on full time.
Right. It's just the Tayler and Dave show now. Sorry, guys.
Exactly. That's those people, right?
Exactly.
So if you guys are not following Tayler, I highly recommend it. It's going to be linked below so you guys can follow along. She's a great follow. And not only does she do a lot for the sport in terms of, ambassadorship, she is super knowledgeable about the sport. Tayler, for the very few people out there who might not know about you, give us a very quick rundown on yourself.
Sure, absolutely. So, motorcycles in general, not just moto and supercross, are something I've been around my entire life. I really didn't have a choice. If you don't know me, you definitely probably know my dad. Definitely probably doesn't make sense, but you probably know my dad, Ken Kaplan. He owns the New England Motorcycle Museum and otherwise known as Kaplan America. He's got a YouTube channel with a decent following. We did a Discovery pilot. So that's been my life for, as long as I can remember. And of course, being involved in Supercross and Moto is my own passion that I've pursued continuously as an adult, both professionally and as a fan. So you can definitely catch me at random Supercross and outdoor rounds. There's really no rhyme or reason to the ones I show up to. They will tell you I just pop up to them. But yeah, that's kind of my background. I'm just a professional fan, I guess.
Yeah, so Taylor's pretty embedded in the sport. The pilot that you guys did for Discovery was like super cool to watch. It was so cool because I met your dad when I was a little kid, man. So for all intents and purposes, he's kind of like everyone's moto dad essentially. So to see
he thinks he is at least.
Yeah, right. To see Ken and Kenny and you, up there, on TV, was just super cool. And I encourage you guys to please follow along with the entire Kaplan family, what they have going on their YouTube channel, which again will be linked below, as well as some of their ventures. I hope that show gets picked up, and I think it's going to be pretty badass. Moving on to some really cool stuff coming up lately. We've got outdoors, Tayler. This is like, we were kind of jaw-jacking a little bit about like how cool the outdoors are, but before we started recording. And of course, you and I being New England natives, we gotta shout out Southwick, right? That's like,
of course, this is the best time of the year.
It is. Southwick's around. You get to see everybody. It's dope. We've got a lot of new faces in the 450 class. We've got a lot of returning faces. We also have some faces that have won titles. So I think it's going to be a pretty stacked season. I want to get your predictions for who you think is going to be mulling around in the top 5, as well as who you think some letdowns and some surprises might be for this upcoming season.
Sure. So should we start?
We'll start with 450.
Perfect. Okay, yeah, definitely. So, to start off in the 450 class, I think Osborne's always an easy contender, someone we always, talk about. He obviously won last year, but given the fact that he spent most of he had the back injury and he's just coming back from, I guess that kind of makes him a little bit of a wild card still. Who's to say really where he's at?
Yeah.
And if we can count him, I think we'll definitely see him on the podium a few times. He's
definitely
very skilled outdoors, and he even raced at GNCC recently, which was awesome. So I think he's always an easy contender to count on, but that'll be interesting for sure.
Yeah.
I think Dylan Ferrandis.
He definitely opened up some eyes last year. I will say that. I think a lot of people had him as like a sleeper and didn't really give him like the due due credit, and he kind of came out and quieted a lot of critics. So I definitely think that's spot on. And a guy you just mentioned, Dylan Ferrandis, I want to hear your thoughts on him. I'm a big Ferrandis fan, so I want to hear what you want to say.
I have to say, I'm with you there. Yeah, no, I'm with you on Dylan Ferrandis because honestly, it's interesting. you see these movers and the shakers come through that, you know, they're talked about a lot. That one move with Christian Craig, that one racing incident, he was booed for like 6 rounds after that. These little things that really cause a riot. And I think people get, you know, I think people got the wrong idea about him. I think he's super passionate. Him and his wife, they came here to America with one goal in mind, and that's to win.
Yep.
They're here, all their families overseas, all their friends, you know, everybody's overseas. They're here to race and to win. And I gotta admire that spirit. I mean, I really like that grit.
Definitely.
And I'm a fan. I think he's gonna do well in this 450 class.
I think so too. And I like that he's aggressive and like he can handle the pressure. So we saw it last year when he won you know, the 2 titles. He's fast. You can pressure him, you can give him, you know, all the rubbing paint, the elbows, sticking your tire in there, and he's not going to falter. I think he's going to be very I almost want to say like mentally strong, and you're not going to spook him, and he's got the talent and the speed to back up whatever you throw at him. So I'm excited to see what that number 14 can do. Who else you got in your top 5 predictions, Tayler?
Man, you know, I think Adam Sancerulo is going to be definitely pushing up there. He's been, you know, and especially with Paolo being the first round, he's a local. You know, he's always there. He's got a lot of practice on that track. I think he's going to be really comfortable going into that first round, a lot of confidence. I'm putting him in my top 5.
Yeah, I can too. I mean, again, he's another person that I think a lot of people are going to sleep on because, you know, we didn't really see him for a good portion of the Supercross series. And, you know, he's got the time to kind of recoup, relax. I would argue that he's kind of more of an outdoor specialist on that 450. I do think he kind of shines a little bit more outdoors on that new bike that he's under. But yeah, I think he's another guy that can just be a thorn in the side of these big guys. I want to talk to you about who you think would be one person to upset Eli Tomac. Obviously, Eli Tomac's coming in as a fan favorite. He's on the same bike he was the last couple of seasons. He's an absolute beast outdoors, goes without saying. Who do you think is going to be the biggest thorn in the side for Eli Tomac?
You know, I think there are definitely a couple names that you could throw out there and they'd all be right. But I think Dylan Ferrandis could be one of them. And I'm going to put him right there on that list. We just mentioned him. I think that he is going to really, you know, be that guy this year. And I hope he is. And I think he's going to be the guy to give Eli the run for his money.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I want to say it's probably going to come from someone like a Cooper Webb or a, I don't know, maybe even like a Marvin Muskin. I don't want to discredit Zach Osborne, but I think those guys on the KTM side, especially Cooper coming off that Supercross title, and you know, he's just got momentum on his side. Now we do see in, you know, history throughout motocross, some guys do kind of falter a little bit when they have the Supercross title, and then they have a little bit of a lull before they work up, you know, to come into that outdoor prowess. But Coop's on the same bike that he was, you know, last year, essentially. He's mentally strong, and I think that he's kind of clicked another gear up to where I don't think it took so much out of him to get that Supercross title. I don't think he was really busting his ass, you know, in terms of like, you know, having to really go above and beyond to get that title. It almost looked like the racing portion, at least, was so natural for him, and it was so natural to be competitive and so natural to fight to the end that, like, I almost say like he's not going to have that same lull he had. I think it was 2019 when he won the title.
Right.
So I definitely think he's going to be full of surprises, as well as Marvin Muskin. That's another guy that I have, is that like sneaky, constant podium guy, but also if you're not careful, he can hull shot and he's gone. You know what I mean?
I mean, towards the end of that Supercross season this past year, I mean, he was starting to charge his way towards the front and show, you know, who he is. And I think that's going to be the case for outdoors too. Like you said, it's going to be sneaky. It's going to come from behind. People are going to count him out. Like you said, a sleeper, but he might be the one.
I have to agree. So my top 5, I love what you said. I completely agree. Ferrandis, AC. I'm going to have to obviously throw in Tomac. I'm going to throw in Osborne. I'm going to throw in Marvin Muskin. Does the rest of yours kind of reflect the same? We know who your 3 guys are, but who are your other 2?
Oh, absolutely. No, I'm totally with you there on, you know, your Eli, your Cooper, your Zach. I was just going for the maybe less obvious first, but definitely, you know, I think Coop coming off that championship
Mhm.
is he's got the momentum, and there is no doubt that he's got to be one of the most, if not the most, mentally tough dude out there right now in the field.
Yes.
He's one of them for sure. He has got one goal in mind, and
Mhm.
he, and then there's, but who's to say? I mean, there's definitely some things that change in the off season, like we always,
Yep.
with him
Always.
leaving Alden, that could,
Yep.
change things, changing programs. It's going to be interesting, but I really think he's going to, he's definitely not going to disappoint. We'll definitely see him on the podium.
I have to agree with you. I think he's going to show some spectacular stuff, and it's going to shake things up. And speaking of shaking things up, you guys have the opportunity to shake up what you're doing right now in motocross and supercross. We are unveiling our TCE MX Internship Program, as well as our TCE Vlog internship program, which gives two different opportunities, whether you want to be a mechanic, team manager, someone that handles a very, very hands-on motorcycle centered career, or if you want to handle the social media side, the vlogging, the content creation. We've got two programs that are tailored to get you the starts, to get you the connections, and to get you the immersion that you need to excel at both and really succeed in the sport. Please be sure to check out the links below. We're gonna put those below. It's such a phenomenal program. We've had so many people go on to do incredible things in the industry, working for people like Supercross and Feld or FXR, working for various race teams. It's phenomenal. We want to get you guys hooked up, so make sure you don't miss out. Click that link below, get signed up for our internship programs, and kickstart your career in the sport today. Tayler, as always with any series, we have ups, we have downs, we have some people that, again, like surprise us, like Zach Osborne did last year. I want to hear from you who you think a person that's going to surprise us in a very positive way is going to be. Maybe someone that we don't really hear of much or tend to skew outside the top 5. Who in this series this year for 450s is going to give us a surprise in your eyes?
Wow. I think there's definitely a few guys. And I think the
Mhm.
beauty of outdoors versus supercross is that with 2 motos in a day,
Yep.
2 chances to get a good start and
Yep.
to get out front and be that guy. Or, I think, and then there's also, it means 24 races.
Yes.
And seeing who can carry through all 24 in the elements of outdoors is
Mhm.
always interesting. And there's always surprises.
Yes.
It's hard to say though. I mean, I think there's going to be several. And
Yeah.
my personal favorite surprises are when you see, local privateers moving
Yes.
up front.
Yep.
Like one of my favorites. Of course, there's so many of those moments at
Yep.
Southwick that you and I can name of our friends.
Yep. Exactly.
Another one, and Dylan Merriam at Unadilla. I think that was 2018. Whole
Yep.
shotted the 450 class, and that was awesome. I mean,
Exactly.
just to see the playing field leveled like that
Mhm.
at any given race is really exciting, and I'm looking forward to all of that.
Oh, 100%. I was gonna say probably like local still, like local privateer guys that are coming from,
The van.
a van, yeah, a rusty pickup truck with peanut butter and jelly, and they're just there with their parents to try and make it work. I love seeing those guys, especially when they break out in the top 10. Love seeing them ride, love
It
seeing
gives
them
me
come
chills
out.
every time. It makes me
Yeah,
emotional. I love that.
exactly.
That's my favorite
Exactly.
thing as a fan.
Yeah, and we've there's been so many. I mean, Henry Miller, Braden Shar. I mean, the list goes on and on. John Shore. I mean, there's so many guys that
Yeah.
break out. Justin Rodbell. There's tons of top 10s up
Mhm.
there, and I think a lot of those guys are going to be capable of it. If I have to say, just one, I would probably say I'm looking forward to what if he stays healthy and has it within his program. Max Anstey. I really
Yeah.
like his outdoor pedigree, especially in the GP series. And we know the GP tracks are very, very different, very brutal. I think he's got what it takes to really shock some people on that yellow Suzuki and make some noise, rattle some cages, and put himself on the map in a lot of people's eyes. So I'm excited to see what goes down that way. One more thing before we drag it out a little bit longer. If you had to put two guys together, and I'm going to give you Eli Tomac and Zach Osborne, which guy do you think has more of the, I guess, what it takes, the talent, the grit, the determination to upset the other? If it was just those two guys on the track racing every single weekend, who do you think would stay on top of the podium at the end of the series?
Oh man. Geez, those are, and especially those two guys. It
Yeah.
really, all it takes is one round, like say Loretta's two, the second round at Loretta's last year, you know, a
Yep.
total, you know, or Eli DNFs both motos,
Yes.
or any, you know, any given round where the weather is a factor, whether it's extreme heat or rain, or these are things that weren't a factor in Supercross that are in outdoors. And
Yeah.
both Zach and Eli both have proven to be dominant in any given really element. Besides, you know, of course, there's times where it does play into it and shakes up the points.
Yeah.
With that said, I want to say Eli. I do.
I have to agree.
He's
I agree.
just so dominant. He really is.
Yep.
And it's even hard to commit to that because Zach pulled it off last year.
Exactly. I don't know. I just think something about the way that Eli can just attack the track. I don't even think Eli cares about lines. I just think he just wide open, just gonna hold it and then just keep charging. It's almost like he's just so bulldogish with it. Like, oh, I don't care. I'm just gonna push through and plow through and just wide open on the back fender the whole way. Just something about the way he rides, his determination. I just think if he saw it up here, gets the mental side right and has what he needs, I just feel like he just can't be beat, you know, any given weekend. So as long as all those things fall into place, then yeah, we'll have to dig more into the mind of Eli Tomac to be able to you know, see like what he could possibly do out there if he keeps all together. So I think that'll be a fun topic.
Let's have this conversation again midway through the season.
Exactly. We'll come back. Like I said, Taylor, you're gonna be back for sure. Guys, we're gonna split this up. This is going to be a part 2 after this one, so be sure to check that one out. And don't forget, guys, get the TCE merch. Taylor, I gotta send you some stuff. You can click the link below. Again, another link below. Click the link, get yourself some TCE merch, support the program, support what we're doing out there in the sport, and stay looking crispy out there. Come on. And also don't forget to hit the subscribe button, send this around to your friends. We're putting out good content for you guys. We love doing this. We love getting people inside knowledge and immersed in the sport, all these cool opportunities, bringing you some great new faces like Taylor, and really making you guys feel a part of the moto community. So be sure to spread the word, spread the love, and yeah, we're going to be doing this again. As always, guys, thank you for tuning in. Taylor, I appreciate the time. I'm excited for part 2, and I'm excited to get talking more about the motocross series that we're about to hop into, and it's going to be a good one.
Can't wait.
All right, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Taylor.
Bye.
See ya.